Hey, Nicki Sanders here with Nicki Sanders Leadership Consulting, and welcome back to the More Than Social Work with Nicki Sanders YouTube channel. Today, I want to tell you a quick story. I have a daughter who's an adult, a millennial, but about 2 decades ago, she was actually in late elementary school. She came into my room and in a panic, she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Nothing's wrong with me. What are you talking about?" And she said, "You're laying on the bed doing nothing. You never do just nothing." So she thought that I was sick or I was hurt. So imagine that your child, because you're just resting, thinks that you're sick or you're hurt because she's so used to you going and doing. Think about the role model that I was being and how I was presenting to her that a woman is supposed to operate personally and professionally. So, about a year or so ago, I realized that all of the women in my circle, personal and professional, inner circle and a little bit outer, were absolutely exhausted, just exhausted, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually exhausted. It did not matter if they were married or single, whether they were mothers or not, whether they were baby boomers, Gen X or Gen Y, whether they were leaders or teachers. It did not matter. They were absolutely exhausted. And the other thing I realized is many of those women in my circle, much like me, were caregivers. They were the nurturers, the caretakers, whether they were the eldest daughter, whether they were the big sister, whether they were in a leadership role, whether they were the strong friend. They were the one who was keeping everybody and everything together, and they were just exhausted. And I realized the other thing is that it was not about burnout, right? It had gone beyond burnout and actually moved towards identity loss, because everybody, regardless of their age, were questioning, who am I now? What is my purpose? What am I here for? What am I supposed to do? Like, how did I get here? And what am I supposed to do to get myself out of this space that I've been in for years and years and years, because I've been stuck in this pattern of doing and going and performing for everyone else and putting myself at the bottom of my to-do list, at the bottom of my priority list. So you have responded to everybody, and in responding to everybody and holding everything together for everybody else, you had actually disconnected from yourself. You had lost yourself in that process of being the fixer. So let me say this: you are not crazy. We are not crazy, right? Because I was there too. We are not crazy. We've been excelling in a world that has different values, a world that values us as producers, a world that values people for what they can contribute and what they can give, not a world that respects and responds to us based on our humanity, based on our needs, based on how we just exist, because we are people, right? And so when you've been excelling in that world and you're so used to hustle and grind, when your body, your soul, your spirit starts to reject that, you're like, what do I do now? Who am I when I'm not producing, when I'm not managing, when I'm not mediating, when I'm not mentoring? Who am I? And how do I get back to that woman? Because she is the one who is the real me, the one who I know, hair is blowing in the wind, the one who I know. And so it's time to lead by those values. It's time to check back in. I am looking like alfalfa. It's time to check back in with ourselves. And let me say this, many of us don't slow down. Like, we're going and going and going, right? We're operating on autopilot in many instances. And we know that if we slow down, we're going to have to come to terms with ourselves, right? Do some introspection and some soul searching. We're going to have a come to Jesus moment with ourselves. So many of us don't slow down because we don't want to be alone with our thoughts. We don't slow down because we don't want to have to see and feel the thing that is the thing that we know is off, we know is wrong, we know is no longer working for us. So those skills, those strategies that we use to survive aren't going to help us thrive. We don't need them anymore. We just haven't figured out how to release them, how to let go of them. And so, again, this is beyond burnout, because burnout says, I can't do this anymore. Identity loss says, I don't know who I am and I don't know where I'm going. So we have gone beyond burnout, beyond overworking, and we moved into identity loss and disconnection. And we have to move out of that space if we are going to be whole. And that's the goal, to be whole. So as a leader, you can't lead fully and powerfully if you're disconnected from yourself. You can't make a significant impact if you've been suppressing your own needs and all the parts of yourself that need hope and encouragement and healing. So this is your wake-up call. If any of those things that I have said sound familiar, if they resonate with you, if you are checking the boxes like, girl, that is me, right? This is your wake-up call. This is your wake-up call. It's not normal, it's not natural, it's not worth it. So this is your wake-up call, and I want you to give yourself permission. Don't wait for anybody else. Nicki can't give you permission, and neither can anyone else. Give yourself permission to slow down. Give yourself permission to rest without guilt. Give yourself permission to set boundaries without feeling shame or like you're hurting someone's feelings. Give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling, right, without feeling guilty about what you're feeling. Give yourself permission to pause, to slow down, to reconnect with the parts of you that light you up. You deserve to be fulfilled with all of the things that you're doing, and fulfilled at the soul level, right? Not just like, oh, that feels good, or oh, I like that, or you know, this job is kind of cool, I kind of like what I do. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about deep, genuine connection to yourself at your core and feeling like who you are authentically. Give yourself permission to become who you are authentically, to return back to her or to become her if you have never been her. This is your wake-up call, and this is my request to you to give yourself permission, because you deserve it. All of the care, all of the nurturing, all of the support, all of the encouragement that you give to other people, you deserve yourself, and you deserve to give it to yourself. So accept it, right? I want you to accept it, but I also want you to give it to yourself, because you are valuable even when you're not producing. You are valuable even when you're not producing. So this isn't just about recovering from burnout. This is about reclaiming your identity. Who are you at your core? Who are you authentically? Who are you without the title and the degrees? Who are you when no one is watching? And you have to tap back into her, because she is your key to thriving. We were not meant to live in survival mode. It's time to get out of survival mode. You deserve to thrive, but you can't thrive if you don't know who you are. So tap back into her, and in the next video, we'll talk about some ways to tap back into that version of you. But that version of you deserves to be center stage. That version of you deserves to lead the next phase of your life. That version of you just deserves. So this is Nicki Sanders with Nicki Sanders Leadership Consulting. I am here to move us away from just self-care to wholeness. I am here to get us out of identity loss and disconnection into liberation, our own personal and professional liberation, not society's view of what success and liberation is. Soft success, soft leadership, soft life, sustainable life, sustainable success. You deserve it, and it's available to you. So I want you to leave me a comment. You can schedule a free consultation, and we can talk about this a little bit more. If this resonates with you and this is something that you know you need, let's chat. More videos are coming. I'm going to give you some more strategies, but right now, if this spoke to you, it is your time. You deserve to feel like yourself again. See you next video. Bye.